We're driving, people calling us to text us back, a good time to talk about. I've never seen this before. So the fact that we can create such a powerful marketing platform where we can have people initiate the conversation, Mr. Love, talk about having a conversation with someone who called you versus you making the outbound call from a data sheet.
The person you're speaking to, they don't know what insurance costs. They see this stuff on TV, Colonial Penn, which is one of the worst misrepresentations there could possibly be. $9.99. How much? $9.99. I ended up writing her, the lady who had said, stop, don't contact me. Then it wrote her husband. He said, Mr. Love, I like you. I like the way you presented that information to my wife. I was listening to every bit of it. I need some more insurance myself. Can you help me? Well, absolutely, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Rick Love Show is what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm very excited. We're back on. You've probably watched episode 1. If you haven't, I invite you to watch episode 1. Go and click. You should see episode 1 here at the top of your screen. Hit that, watch it, and come back to here. Or if you want to get directly into it, then stay here and watch Mr. Love start the show. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Mr. Roussel. I'm doing fine, thank you. Praise God, I'm doing fine.
Well, God bless you, sir. Thank you. We had a fun episode last time. We talked about the industry a lot. I was revising. We talked about the state of the industry. So maybe we keep that one for a later conversation. But I want to start with you, Mr. Love. I want to explore a couple of words of advice to start with. I want people to get value right away out of this podcast. There's new agents listening to us. What would you recommend a new agent who's just got into this business, right? They just was introduced to this business maybe less than 6 months ago. And maybe you answer it for yourself. What would Rick Love do if he just got into this business to replicate the successes that you've had?
Very, very good question, Mr. Roussel. And I want to elucidate on that as much as I possibly can. What would I do different? When I think back, when I initially entered this profession, of course, being new, you don't know the questions to ask. I always say you don't know what you don't know. And the people who were working with me, who initially exposed me to the insurance industry, they answered the questions that they wanted to answer and provide me the information they wanted to provide me. And so it was very limited in scope. I started in this business incidentally through Primerica. Primerica representative had come to our home and said that they did what they call a financial needs analysis. And at the end of the financial need analysis, I had a shortfall, and they said, we can show you how to make up the shortfall. I was working a 50-hour-a-week job. I was in management for a company, and they were going to show me how to make additional income in the insurance industry. Initially, I wasn't remotely interested because, again, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have any knowledge of what that entailed and what was involved. But nevertheless, I did go ahead and study and took the exam and passed it. And then I found out some things that they didn't tell me. And so I became quickly disillusioned with it, and found out that Primerica products were grossly overpriced, that the products had the very poor product that were available. And I didn't know that initially until I began to study them and had questions. And I realized, okay, first of all, a lot of misrepresentation, products that are inferior to the industry, grossly overpriced. And so I quickly exited Primerica. and then went into the captive side of the business. Many agents, when they enter this industry, end up in a captive environment. That's either with Bankers Life and Casualty, American Income Life, SR, what is it, as Senior Life, and some of these other outfits. Most PHP, you know my acronym for that, people helping Patrick. And so they end up oftentimes in a captive environment, not really understanding what that is. That you can only offer their products, like State Farm is another one. You can only offer their product, and of course their products are not always the best products in the industry. And something else that they don't tell you, or they didn't tell me, was that if you leave prior to being vested, and no one told me what that meant, then you lose all your book of business. And so having to learn all those things after I had been in the business a couple of years is the learning scale of the part of this business that we want people to avoid. I want people to avoid the pitfalls and all those things that I fell into, not because I wanted to, but because the people I entrusted to help me, that was just the way they did conducted business. So what would I do different? First of all, I wouldn't go captive. I would align myself with a reputable organization that offered training, that offered me the ability to build my business or my brand, that offered me marketing assistance without bankrupting me, and training. So that's what I would do different. And I'm gonna tell you, so good that you brought that question up, because that's exactly what we're offering with Final Expense Kingdom. We're offering all the above. Your business is your business 100%. If you leave Final Expense Kingdom and go somewhere else, and I hope that we make it so appealing to you that you stay. But if you chose to do so, your business belongs to you. Everybody you wrote up belongs to you. Your renewals belong to you. That is what's important. I don't want people to go through the stuff that I went to. Mr. Roussel, actually, I left over $200,000 worth of business on the books that I had to walk away from because the book of business didn't belong to me. Wow. Between $200,000 and $300,000 worth of business, I had to leave on their books because the business belonged to them and not to me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and people will join an agency, an upline, and the upline is making money not even on the sales; it's making money on the leads. And here you should go there for training, and you should buy this program for leads. And it's the last answer should be when you sign on with your upline. It shouldn't be you should sign up with this program and buy this course for $1,500 or $5,000. We were talking about that. How can we offer marketing that's affordable, whereas the priority is for them to make sales and not to start trying to scramble and finding different programs to be successful, right?
Yes. The one of the key components we know about training, that training to me is critical. Product knowledge, those things, I cannot overemphasize the importance of being a master at your craft. And so I spent a lot of time with training, and the videos that they will have available to them will all be on product knowledge, positioning themselves, how to sell, overcoming objections, etc. Okay, in regards to the free leads, quote unquote, there's no such thing as a free lead. Okay, you're gonna have to give up something. You're gonna have to either give up reduced commissions, or as you alluded to, buy some outlandish marketing program that's probably antiquated by the time you get it. And so what we're doing here is offering them a marketing guru by the name of Mr. Jamie Roussel. He's a part of this organization. We work together. And so you would have Mr. Roussel at your disposal as part of our organization to assist you and lead generation. I mean, when it comes to lead generation, in my mind and in the minds of others, and certainly all those that work with me, you are second to none. So you are the expert in this field. And I am appreciative that you're working with us and we're working with you, etc. We have combined forces to do this. So you're gonna have the best of both worlds by joining forces with us. You're gonna have me, and I don't want to. The Bible said, "When you boast in the Lord." But you're gonna have someone who God has blessed to be successful in this business, and I'm gonna make a whole lot of marketing, not marketing material, but Mr. Roussel would do that, but a sales material, product knowledge, training, Q&A sessions. We're doing bi-weekly Q&As, and we may start doing them weekly Q&As. And I'm going to propose to Mr. Roussel that at some point as we get more engaged, that we start doing a weekly Q&A for an hour, perhaps Monday morning from 8 to 9 or something like that, because 9, 10 o'clock you're getting into production time. And I don't want to interfere with that. But we could do an 8 to 9 a.m., 8 to 9:30 Q&A, listen to some sales calls, because all our sales calls are recorded. And perhaps you could, and I have a lot of sales calls recorded at Final Expense Kingdom for the agents that align themselves with us, so they'll have access to actual hello, Mrs. Jones, to thank you, Miss Jones, for allowing us to help you take care of this need. Just to hear how that is done from hello to thank you, and all that occurs in between, that just brightens, that just makes me smile inside to know that you're going to get to listen to me from the moment I talk, from the end of the sales call, and how I did it.
Yeah. And Mr. Love, combined, we've probably spent over $250,000 on Facebook, or have overseen. So we've seen ad spend. You've done
Absolutely.
you've done sales for over 25 years. You've had your fair share of sales calls that you've taken. You know how to bring someone from the very beginning. And I've heard your sales calls. I get to see the beginning, the reception, and every time I'm like, this person's going to get off the phone. And no, like it's the way you come at objections, and your personality, and the way you say things. It's second to none, and people will be so quick to blame the quality of the lead, right? And I do understand that the quality of the lead is important. Knowing where it came from, how much effort it had taken before talking to the agent, I understand that. But a good quality lead is good quality when there's a sale. Right? It's not this. It's only a bad quality lead when he gets off the phone from you, right? He or she. So I was just amused by hearing just the beginning. I get to see your full sales calls, in your resources as well. But just the beginning that I get to see on the marketing side is just phenomenal. So I just want to congratulate you on that, and I can't wait for people to learn that from you. Right? Joining FinalExpenseKingdom.com. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother Jamie. I certainly appreciate that.
And sorry to say, and as well, having access to me, I was telling Mr. Love before this call, if you were to have access to me, and I would have to give you everything from beginning to end, the exact landing page to use, the exact questionnaire, the exact ads. You're not looking at anything under $10,000. Anybody that's selling something that's actually worth talking about, that's how much it's worth, because we know how much it can make you over a span of a year, right? So having access to me as well as Mr. Love, but specifically on the marketing side, having access to the exact material without having to pull out a fortune is very valuable. Wouldn't you think so?
Absolutely. As you said, we've spent over $250,000 on advertising and Facebook marketing, et cetera. And so, do you think at that particular point you're dealing with someone who has some knowledge and some expertise in those areas? Absolutely. I've made thousands and thousands of calls when I was doing face-to-face. Some people call them belly to belly. Uh, Thousands and thousands of those. When you have an opportunity, I want them to be able to look at my bio. My bio is posted so that you can see some of the accomplishments, and those are just the ones listed that I've been blessed to have obtained in this industry. And so, as far as working with us, there are a lot of organizations out there that promise you a lot of things. But I tell you what, when you talk about tried, proven, and true, it's right here for you. Final Expense Kingdom, agent, the mastermind site that we have for you is second to none.
Mm, mm. Yeah, so if you're listening at this time, you're going to see two links posted below. The first one, number one, is going to be finalexpensekingdom.com. You'll have all the information for Rick Love to contact him. There's a form that you can fill out, or you can call him directly to see if you can have access to him. Now, I want to make something clear too, just because of the volume that we're going to start getting. Certainly due to the statue that you have, Mr. Love, we're going to be getting a lot of people come in our direction. And so I want to kind of clarify, because I'm sure you're not opening the gate completely. You have a set of, I don't want to say the word rules, but there's certain guidelines that you're going to follow in the people that you want to have coming in your team. What are some of that, right? Is it a certain sales ability? I think it may be more personality. Talk more about that, Mr. Love.
Thank you. Absolutely. I understand that this is not a correct fit for everyone, and everyone is not a correct fit for us. Okay, that's just the nature of it. What do you look for in a successful new agent? What are you looking for in that new agent who wants to align themselves with you, with us? First of all, I'm looking for someone that I would say is smart, has the ability to learn and grasp product knowledge and sales technique. Someone who's coachable, that doesn't have that I know it all attitude. I appreciate what you bring to the table, but understand we may be further along in the process than you are. And so everyone brings something to the table of value, and I certainly appreciate that. And I don't want to undervalue anyone, but I want someone that's coachable, someone that's also has a pleasant personality. Who wants to work with someone with a negative attitude, someone you have to babysit, and all those things? I know I don't. As I had stated previously, I have two grandsons that I watch, and I love watching my grandsons. And my wife and I, we may have them a couple times a week, but I enjoy that, and they enjoy being with me. But I'm babysitting them. Now they're 6 and 5. I choose not to babysit adults. And so if we bring you along and show you, lead you to the water, all the training videos, sales calls, the scripts, overcoming objection worksheets, everything that is available to aid you in your success. You have Mr. Roussel with the marketing, helping you design and create. Well, he's the creative genius behind the Facebook ads. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Doing all of that. And so we're looking for someone that has a good work ethic. You know, but now I'm going to say that with a caveat. I had to realize everyone's goals in this business were different. And when I say that, some people goals are to make $100,000 a year. Some folk goals may be to supplement an existing income, and so their goal may be $20,000 a year. Therefore, what I had to learn was the work ethic would be different according to what their goals are. So saying that, one of the other things I want to do, first of all, is find out what their goals are. You have to have a goal. Okay, what's your monetary goal in this business? And then, Mr. Roussel, what we do, we work backwards. Okay, because I know what the average sale is, and so we work backwards. This is how many sales you will need to accomplish what you said your goal was. And then we're going to see how reasonable it is to accomplish that goal based on how much work time they want to put into it. Everybody wants $100,000 working 100 hours a year. I'm going to say that again, because someone listening didn't get that. Everyone wants $100,000 a year, working 100 hours a year. I'm going to say that that is very unrealistic and will not occur in the insurance business, nor anywhere else for that matter. So what I want to find out is, I need someone who goal-oriented. We want to find out what your goals are. What is it that you want to make? We're going to work backwards. How many apps do you need to write for that to occur? And then how many hours are you willing to commit to achieve whatever that goal is? And so that helps put people on some type of schedule where you can monitor. Okay, here it is a month into this thing. You've written one out. Now, you said your goal was this. Have you changed your goals? What has occurred? And just to help people to monitor what their goals are. And then, of course, we provide the systems to help them achieve it. So, to conclude, someone who's coachable, smart, intelligent enough to learn the product knowledge, scripts, sales techniques, etc. Coachable. Mm-hmm. A pleasant personality, not someone that you gotta butt heads with all the time, but someone with a pleasant personality. I know we'll disagree on things, but we can disagree in an amicable manner. And then, of course, that work ethic. You got to have a strong work ethic to make it in this business, and we'll determine that when we look at what your goals are.
I love that. And you know what I've noticed while you were saying that to the agent is it's refreshing to hear expectations that are realistic. You are setting realistic expectations to the people listening to you, and they are probably feeling so good about themselves saying, you know what? It's not normal to hit $300,000 in annual premium in my first year. Like I was told that's what it was. Because I came from an Indeed site or from a Facebook ad that said I was going to make 15 grand next month. Right? And so just the aspect of managing expectations. Now, I'm not saying that it's not achievable. We know what you've achieved. And so if you're saying it, we definitely know that other people can do it because you've done it. And if you replicate other people's success and you tell them what to do, that is what you had done in the past, then it's going to work. But managing expectations is practically what you have just outlined. And I think a lot more people needs to hear that before being with an upline that they didn't know before jumping in, right? Like you keep saying, you don't know what you don't know. And the fact that they're listening to you right now, they've listened to you, they've watched the previous podcast, now they're watching to you, they've consumed 2 hours, they probably resonate with you to an extent, right?
Absolutely, because there are people out in this industry that are throwing all kind of weird numbers out there. They make it seem like you can make a 6-figure income pretty much just by osmosis. If you just sit there long enough, it'll just happen. I don't want to give anybody that false reality. I will be upfront with you and transparent with you. I work. I love what I do. And so, Jamie, the other thing I'm looking for is a person that's passionate about what they're doing. It takes
Mm,
a certain amount of passion in this industry to be successful. You have to be passionate about it. That I have a desire. There are a lot of people out there that need this information that I have, and I have a strong desire to aid them, to help them. I'm talking about the prospective client. And so with that passionate desire of mine, I'm able to carry that passion into every conversation that I have, because I realize I have a portfolio of products that can help this person I'm on the phone with. Now I had to convey complex products and concepts into something that's simple for the person on the other end who's receiving the information, that they are able to receive it and I can articulate it in such a way that it makes sense to them. See, a lot of insurance people that get caught so much in the terminology, insurance terminology, and the nuances of this business. That the client that you're talking to on that other end, they're not remotely interested in all your big words. They're really not.
mm,
What they really want to know, do you care? They can feel it. They can feel it. Are you just a salesperson, or are you somebody that care about me on the other end? We had a thing years ago called smiling through the phone, where you can literally sense that this is a pleasant person I'm talking to, a decent person I'm speaking with, and you're literally smiling through the phone. Well, if you have a sour attitude, unpleasant disposition, that would be hard for you to convey. And so you may be better suited for face-to-face sales. And of course, I can help you with that. I did it for most of my career. I certainly can help you with that. But when you get on that phone, it's a different personality that's required. I love it. And I'm going to tell you something. Women do real good at this. I have quite a few women that work with me. Now, it's just who I am that I'm able to do well with it. Okay. They know I'm a guy straight off. I had that little country twang. I was raised down south. But women, you guys have a leg up on this. And I love working with people. But women, you really have an advantage in telesales. And I want to help you optimize that advantage that you already have.
yeah, I've seen some women, the women out there who have the grind, that are ready to put in the work. That is some powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, and they do incredible numbers.
Let me say this too. One of our regional managers, Miss McKee, she is solid. She's been working with me now for probably 6, 7 years. Ladies, I will have Miss McKee working with you as well, besides me, of course. But Miss McKee is a pro, has an engineering degree. She's a pro. She's professional. She knows my system, and that lady can sell. You hear me? When I say she can sell, when she's on that phone, I told her, I said, I would buy from you every time. That's what's going to be at your disposal when you come with us.
Yeah. And how long has she been with you, Mr. Love?
About 7 years.
See, so for the people who haven't noticed that, the average percentage of people who stay in this business past 3 years is 8%. So you do 8% twice, right? It's 7 years, so it's 2 times 3 years. The odds of Miss McKee to still be working in insurance are below 3%. And that tells you enough about who will be guiding you in this business and who will be bringing you to success. And that's something I wanted to note, Mr. Love.
Thank you. And I want to add this. One of our another regional director, Mr. Wilkins, a former NFL football player. That dude, you know what it takes to become a professional football player. Okay? You got to have grit. You got to have, I'm going to make it in spite of attitude. Nobody going to stop me. He's the defensive end. He's one of our regional directors. David's been with me for about 6 years now. Okay? He will be one of the people on this team assisting the agents that come aboard. You need to show them that link again.
Down below, finalexpensekingdom.com. and you just gave away a lot of value in terms of sales. Just, it sounds so simple, but for the person to feel like it's so easy to start getting in the complicated terms because you're in the nitty gritty learning that. But then when you present that product, you have to unplug yourself from these complicated terms and say, okay, how can I deliver it from that perspective? All they care about is my family going to be safe? Are my financials safe? And how does this help me? That's all they care about. So as soon as you start saying complicated words, you lost them. A confused mind doesn't buy, right, Mr. Love? You've heard that one before.
That's correct.
So, and you were talking about passion earlier as well. You were saying you got to be passionate. And I don't want to start doing some woohoo stuff, but just this morning I woke up, 8:59 I woke up, and at 9 a.m. I checked my phone and I had a notification saying, Brother Love got a new inbound call. And the fact that I woke up to that and that made my day, that got me excited, to me it tells me that I'm in the right place, that I'm doing the right thing, because it excites me and I just can't wait to text them and how was that? She just needs this piece of information, right? We just need her bank information and we can clear this sale. Like that to me, the fact that I was able to set up a system where someone was scrolling, going about their day, seeing our advertisement, seeing, okay, I've realized that this is important and I need to take care of this now, to the point where she was the one who initiated the call, right? Because this is the system we're talking about. We haven't talked about this marketing system that much, right? Where we're driving people inbound to us. We're driving people calling us to text us back, a good time to talk about. I've never seen this before. So the fact that we can create such a powerful marketing platform where we can have people initiate the conversation, Mr. Love, talk about having a conversation with someone who called you versus you making the outbound call from a data sheet.
Wow, it's just something that it's so great to have a system in place like that. First of all, agents, you have to understand the automation even involved in making that happen. How all that went from Facebook to wherever we take them to the next step. There's about 5 or 6 parts involved in submit to you looking on your phone and someone's calling you wanting insurance. They already know what it's about because the ad is very clear. We're not offering them raffle tickets and TVs and stuff like that. But it's a beautiful thing. And so when I saw that, and it's just coincidentally, I was on the call with someone else when she was calling me. And so I shot her one of those text messages I have that all I do is hit send. And then I called her immediately afterwards and, was apologetic about missing her phone call. She was very acceptable at that. And she asked me, she said, Mr. Love, where are you from? After I went through my initial spiel. And I said, ma'am, I was raised down south. She said, I could tell. She said, I'm from North Carolina. And so and now I'm not giving her everything away because there are some things I'm going to teach you about connectable and connectivity. when you get on the phone with people. We're going to teach you through our script how to connect with them quickly, because if you don't click, I'm not interested, goodbye. Okay? And so many agents foul that up because you don't know what you don't know. I understand that. We've been doing telesales now for going on 6 years, so we're not new at this. But again, so it was a good call, good sale. Found her what fit her budget, and I'll teach you about not overselling. Okay, but finding the right price point so that they can keep the policy. But the call went well, and as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to get her roommate as well. I sent over some things for her via email that she could look at, and I'm probably going to get her. But let me tell you something else about the other call. They had put stop because we have it set up where you can unsubscribe. That protects you from the FAA regulations and all that stuff, so they can unsubscribe so they don't get bombarded. Well, anyway, but it was on a system that was not on my main platform. So I called her from my platform, which she hadn't put stop on it. It's the same lady that has stopped sending me text messages on my cell phone. I called her from my platform. Not only did I sell her, that call is recorded. That's a beautiful sales call, by the way. Not only did I sell her, her husband was on the speaker, because when I'm doing those kind of calls, I want it on the speaker. So I'm not doing what we call a one-legger, because you're just wasting your time in those cases most of the time. He's listening, and I included him. I announced him several times throughout the call, and I'm gonna tell you why you do that when we start doing these Q&As. Why you have to involve that other person. That's the psychology of this thing, boy. I just love it. So anyway, I ended up writing her, the lady who had said, stop, don't contact me. Then it wrote her husband. He said, Mr. Love, I like you. I like the way you presented that information to my wife. I was listening to every bit of it. I need some more insurance myself. Can you help me? Well, absolutely, sir. It'll be my pleasure. Yes, sir. So I ended up writing both of them. Psychology. There's a book called The Psychology of Sales. You know something else while we're talking about all this. I have quite a few books in my library regarding sales and psychology, etc. All those things I have condensed into our training and some of the handouts that we'll provide you. The objection worksheet, I think our rejection and rebuttal worksheet is second to none. It's tried, it's tested. I've internalized all this stuff because I've been doing it so long. But all that will be at your disposal. So when these things, but again, this lady has said, stop. I don't want no more communication. And I told you, Mr. Russo, I said, I called on my platform and sold her and her husband. Amen.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't help myself but tell people where to go, because I know there's people listening to you, and it's I gotta speak to Mr. Love. I gotta do something to work with him. So if you're listening and you're feeling the same thing I'm feeling right now, and I'm sure Mr. Love is feeling it himself from what he's saying, I invite you to go to finalexpensekingdom.com, the first link in the description, and if you should attempt to call Mr. Love, he may not pick up. Maybe you can leave a message on his phone because he is busy. He might be busy helping people like he just said he did. So he might be busy. Leave him a message and he'll get back to you. Okay,
Absolutely.
there's a couple things I want to dissect here because you said a lot of things, and I'm writing stuff down here on my end because this is really good stuff. So you mentioned earlier overselling, Mr. Love. I want you to expand on that because so many people, I think, hear that, don't understand it, but they do it, and it's causing the chargebacks that are happening probably in their lives. You already mentioned why chargebacks affects you in the first place. We've already covered that. You can maybe mention that again, but what do you mean by overselling? Is there such thing as overselling?
Absolutely, it is. And a lot of agents, they grab for premium versus finding something that's comfortable for that particular client. Most of the people that we talk with are on a fixed income. And when life happens, the first thing that is going to be eliminated from their expenses is their life insurance plan, particularly if you sold them something that they can hardly afford. And so I teach agents how to find a premium that is comfortable for them that they will be able to maintain their policy. And with the information that down the road, if you want to increase it, perhaps, and I said perhaps because that's going to be based on the health, we can get you more later when your financial situation improve. But anything is beats having nothing at all. And so you try to find a price point that they're comfortable with, and your business tends to stay on the book when you do that. But when you're just chasing at the premium, because first of all, the person you're speaking to, they don't know what insurance costs. They see this stuff on TV, Colonial Penn, which is one of the worst misrepresentations there could possibly be. $9.99. How much? $9.99. Yes, nine. But not people don't know. Well, what do I get for $9.99? I may get $100 worth of insurance for $9.99. Also, the small print that the policy is not good for the first 2 years. They don't see that. They don't know that, and so they get stuff that they're not familiar with, that's not good for them. And so we're going to be honest and transparent with them, but we're going to find a premium, not a face amount, because again, they don't know what insurance costs. They may say they want $50,000 for insurance. Well, how much can you afford a month? $30. See how unreasonable that is? They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I work backwards from premium. And then they'll tell me if that's something they can do or not. So the $30 may only get them 5,000. Well, you know what, Mr. Love, how much is 6 or 7? Because now we're dealing with the reality. Yeah, they thought 50,000, $30. Well, because they see $9.99, they think, well, what do you get for $9.99? $10,000 for insurance. That's not true. So we have to be educators, and that's where the knowledge of not only the products that you're offering, but I'm also going to teach you about the products that's in the market. So you're going to learn how to counter anything that they have already in existence. Oh boy, you didn't get that one. I'm going to teach you how to place them in a better situation, even if perhaps they have existing insurance. If their situation can be better. They don't know they have Colonial Penn on a 2-year waiting period, and they just got it last month. What about if you were able to offer them a plan that had immediate benefit day one? Wow. Wouldn't that be advantageous to them? Absolutely. Or they got an AARP, goes up in cost every 5 years, ends at a certain age. Wouldn't it be nice if they found out, wow, I can get a premium, a fixed premium that will not end on me and will not will be there for the rest of my life. So we have done extensive research on some of the products that are in the market that many of our clients may already have. And I'm going to train you and teach you how to go against that policy to find a place where you may be able to benefit them more with the products that you're offering. I
Yeah.
think did I answer that? Oh,
Yeah, you did.
and you said something about chargebacks real quick.
Yeah.
The thing about chargebacks, when you're only writing one app a month and it goes off the book, you're in bad shape. But if you're writing quite a few apps a month, I always say writing business takes care of your chargebacks. None of us want them. They do, but that's just the nature of the business that we're in. You're going to have them. We try to minimize them as much as possible, and I'll show you the techniques that we use to minimize them by staying in front of that client. We can set up some rules within our system to send them text messages, to send them emails every month or so, where you just kind of touch bases with them. That's a great way to minimize it right there.
Yeah. And you know what I'm thinking right now? I think you're going to get a lot of people that are listening to you that are going to go and check back their knowledge on their products because they know now, listening to you, that if they have someone that they're selling the wrong policy to and then someone called Rick Love comes and talks to them because they ended up on our lead sheet, that person is going to get the chargeback, not you. And that's the importance of knowing your products. We've mentioned the three pieces: lead generation, sales, and product. You've talked about sales and product. And I wanted to add on top of what you were saying about the $9.99. What's funny is as when I was starting in this industry as a marketer, I used price as a way to drive clicks. It was one of my main drivers. The more experience I am getting, the farther I'm moving away from using price as an incentive to get people to click. Because people you only buy what you can afford, right? And if you do marketing and you lean on low prices, well, what's going to happen is it's going to clutter. Your lead generation is going to be cluttered with people who are coming in only wanting price, right? We don't want people coming in for $9.99, right? That or for the people that it can't generate leads and say, well, we better get some activity, so let's the lowest price, $9.99, right? That's going to drive clicks. If I do that tomorrow morning, Mr. Love, we'll double our lead amount and reduce our lead cost by half. But that's not who you want to talk to. I know who you want to talk to, and that's not the person coming in for a $9.99 policy. So that's something I wanted to tell the audience, that it's something that if you're a marketer having to use price, it's because you're having to use price. You wouldn't use it if you didn't have to. You wouldn't sell on price if you didn't have to. You don't want to be doing that. It just makes it so much harder on the sales side, Mr. Love, if you have to fight a lead that's coming in strictly for pricing. There's layers of obstruction that they're coming in from. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And the script that we have in place, and we continue to refine it, and I compare it to anything that's out there. It helps lead the agent and the client to that sweet spot that they're comfortable with, because that's what we want to find. And so if you follow that script, it will lead you there where you got a happy client, a client with a premium that's comfortable for them. And the thing about that, they'll refer other people to you because you have treated them good, you've treated them kind, you displayed empathy and kindness to them, and people will work with you when they feel like you care. When they sense that you care about them, they're more apt to work with you.
Yeah, and there's ways to tailor the marketing in your sales script for the first 30 seconds, the psychology you keep repeating to tell the person, we're not desperate, we're trying to help you and we care about you. And there's a fine line in how we do things on the marketing side and on the sales side to say, we're not desperate, we're trying to help you. And people can sense that difference by the words that you're using.
Absolutely.
The written words as well as the first 10, 15, 30 seconds of the conversation, right? getting to them quick. You said that earlier. I mean, today, in 1999, you could have called a lead 10 minutes later and it would have been probably all right. But in 2023, I'm not even going to make the argument that people's attention span are going down in real time. That's one thing, and people want things quicker. It's the idea that they can have access to things quicker. They can search on Google, final expense Ohio, or final expense Florida, term insurance Florida, and within seconds be on a phone call with an agent that's going to be more than willing to sell them. And so if you're not that person and you've paid for a lead on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you paid for that lead, it blows my brain that people are waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to get to that person. And then they come back to me and say, Jamie, that person already got a policy with Google. I couldn't get to them. That's because they didn't have a system in place, an automation series that can allow them to contact them right away, call them within a minute, notify yourself of exactly what that request was, what's their name, how much have they requested from you. Those are things that we know all within 15 to 20 seconds. In fact, instantly we get it, right? And so they say it. I'll give you a stat: 400% more chances of closing if you can get to that person within 60 seconds. And it makes sense because Google is now a friend to everybody, even in the sales industry, in the insurance space. So that's what I want to say. Mr. Love, I'm going to end you on one last question. People have heard you and got value from you today, and you talked about Final Expense Kingdom. What are some systems? I know you talked about it. I just want to group it all together at the very end here. What kind of systems can agents, joining the National Senior Burial Benefit Program and Final Expense Kingdom, what can they expect from you moving on from now?
Well, this has been a good session, and I certainly look forward to more of these in our Q&A. But what can you expect? Well, first of all, you're going to have me and two of the regional managers that we have on our team that are second to none, a wealth of experience. Both of them at least 20 years of experience in this industry. They've been with me now for 6 and 7 years each. And so you're going to have them. You're going to have our library of videos available to you. That library of videos are training videos, product videos, and we're continually updating those that library all the time. So you'll have that available. Our sales calls, where you can actually listen to sale calls and how they're conducted, how you overcome the objections and how you reach that price point and close the deal. You'll be able to hear those calls from start to finish. And you're gonna have our platform with our CRM, with the essence sending out text messages and emails, all from a platform with templates. And I can't underemphasize that importance. We have created the templates, email templates, SMS templates, already created. We just have to plug your name in, and now it's yours. So there'll be personalized templates for you to send out to clients. Our platform has where you'll dial from. Everything in there that you need to be successful. And when I say everything, I have been working this platform for several years. We've tried others. I just feel like this is the best platform available. You'll have a platform available to work from. And last but not least, you will have the marketing guru himself, Mr. Jamie Roussel, working with you, providing you with the lead generation support. But leads are the lifeblood of this business. Let nobody tell you anything different. If you want to survive in this business and be successful, you cannot depend on your quote unquote warm market. Warm market, of course, if people we know. Now, granted, you may be able to get some sales out of them, but we're talking about sustainability in this business. You need a lead generation system that's going to provide you with exclusive leads, leads that belong to you, not leads that have gone to 7 other people. And ironically, that's what happens in a lot of these cases, whether you know it or not. That lead is distributed to quite a few people, and it's just a matter of who calls them first. That's really when you call them, I've already taken care of it. Well, you just submitted this 10 seconds ago. Well, so anyway, you have an exclusive lead system, and you will have the marketing guru himself, Jamie Roussel, at your disposal, and it's a win-win situation. We want it to be a win-win situation for everyone that we work with. Okay, and so that's what you'll have in at your disposal. All those resources and more.
And you can find that information in the description below, finalexpensekingdom.com. Mr. Love, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today.
Mr. Roussel, thank you, and thank you to those who are listening. God bless.
All right. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.